I messed up. Legends, so here we are for the final video in Kicking the Habit for the month of May 2021. Started off on the 1st of the month, stopped smoking cigarettes in the attempt to try and kick them all together. Now, I'm not here to say I'm giving up on the challenge, but I did screw up. The challenge I set for myself was to not smoke a cigarette in the whole of the month of May, and hopefully that'll be the Kickstarter to keep me going. But on the 21st of the month, slipped up majorly bad, and I smoked a half a cigarette, and it was absolutely stinking. I have managed to actually destroy the taste of them for myself. As a hardcore smoker for a lot of years, there was nothing as nice as, especially after a meal, getting into that cigarette and just enjoying it the whole way down to the filter, and then smoke about 50 more directly after it. Chain smoker for a long time, but I sparked up that cigarette after not a stressful day. Stress didn't bring it on, but just for me it is, and that is why I use the little inhaler right here, because that's what I miss most, actually having the cigarette physically in the hand, and you know, all that sort of stuff. You know, you need something to do with your hands a lot of the time. I do miss, actually, you know, even cigarette hanging out the mouth. It looks ridiculous with this here, and you know, not that smoking is a cool thing, but there's nothing like it if you are a smoker, and that's what got me. Not so much the craving, but the actual physical side of the whole thing. So I did got hold of a cigarette, sparked that bad boy up on the evening of the 21st of this month, and I smoked the half of it and chucked it away. Taste just wasn't there for it, so screwed up, hands up in the air. I could quite easily have just continued on with these videos to the end of the month and says, yes guys, I'm doing good and you can do good too. No, I just doing bad. I screwed up in a major way. But that's what life is. It is a series of failing upwards. You know, a lot of people, if they were doing this challenge and slipped up and had a smoke, they would just say, nah, screw it, we'll just continue on smoking again. So I'm going to continue trying to stay off them, and this is going to end really the updates. But as we're doing the vlogging channel on a daily basis, if I can, that's what I started this channel for, and if we can continue these videos, you know, once in a while, I'll let you know how that's going. But I have said it before, this is, I've got no doubt in my mind, this is definitely something that I will suffer with for the rest of my life. You know, to make 21 days on a fresh attempt without falling off the wagon when it comes to smoking is an achievement on its own. And you know, kicking a habit, you know, isn't something that you can really do overnight. To kind of flash back to the painkiller incident with me, I became kind of chemically dependent on them. So if you don't know about that story, I have a back injury which is under control now, simply due to, well, training mostly, but you know, diet is a big part of it too, which I'm still trying to get my head around. If I could get my eating under control, I would be in amazing shape right now. But I am right now at this point physically in the best condition of my life. For the first time in probably 15 years, I have only one distinct chin, whereas before that I had at least two pushing towards 3 chins. So it was a big boy for a long time, but I was on painkillers for a back injury, and for a lot of years I just went and done my job, took my painkillers, tried to keep going, but at the end of it, after probably about a 12-year period straight of went on painkillers, I realised after not having the prescription for a full weekend that I was dependent on these things. So it was a matter of trying to get them out of my system. Now, it took a full 1.5 years from the decision of trying to cut down on the painkillers till I got to the point where I got through an entire day without taking a painkiller to handle the pain of the back injury. Now, that injury still annoys me from time to time, but you know, right now, if I do feel pain, I will not automatically go for a painkiller. The closest thing I will come to painkillers right now is if I've got a bad headache, I'll take a couple of paracetamol. That's it. Nothing heavier or hardcore than that. I just don't want to go down that road again. Like, I'm pretty sure if I took a painkiller for the back, I could quite easily not think about them ever again. It was never a huge problem for me, but it was one of these things where never the body is chemically dependent on something. It'll take a long time to kick that. So I'm looking at the smoking in exactly the same mindset as kicking the painkillers. Took me 1.5 years to successfully do that, and to get 21 days into an attempt of not smoking cigarettes, you know, I take that as a small victory. It's a failure, but it's a small failure. You don't beat yourself up for small failures. You just reset the clock, start again, off you go, and you try and get through another new day without sparking up a stogie. And it is incredibly tempting now. Not gonna lie, now that I've slipped up, had that half a cigarette, even though the taste wasn't there, you know, that kind of I could go for that again. That is kind of fresh in my mind. But I've always said it, guys, I want to be as open and honest as possible as a daily vlogger. I'm going to do that on this channel. So I screwed up, holding the hands in the air. Yep, loser. That's an L in my record. But you know what? You can't become successful at anything overnight. And if it takes me another 1.5 years to kick this, and if I slip again, smoking another cigarette, I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I'm just going to say, okay, you smoked a cigarette. That's a lot better than the 20 cigarettes that you would usually smoke in a day before you actually finished your day's work, and you still have a whole quarter of a day left to get through before you go to bed at night. That's how bad I was. I would get up in the morning, smoked a cigarette as soon as I got out of bed, went and got my breakfast, smoked a cigarette after that, go clean my teeth, shave, whatever I was doing before I had to leave work, had an hour cigarette before I left the house, got into the car, had a smoke on the way to work, got to work 5 minutes early so I could have an hour cigarette before I went into work. So you're talking 5 cigarettes every morning on average before I even started my day's work. So, you know, 1 cigarette in 21 days. Not going to beat myself up over that there. That's nothing. But anyway, that is the update for Kicking the Habit. Final video. Screwed up, but I'm going to try and keep going. But this officially finishes off the playset. I was going to say playset for this challenge. This is going to officially finish the playlist of videos in this challenge. Didn't finish the way I wanted it to finish, but it is what it is. And we'll continue on and do something else.